Hi everyone, this is Shantae, aka Shantizi on Twitter and Instagram, or just simply just Shantae. So welcome to my show called Shantae's Analysis, hashtag Shantae's Analysis. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Shantizi, or you can or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can like and share this video. And so I am coming to you with some COVID numbers really quickly and some stuff to break down today's news. It was a pretty news cycle day, so I am just going to get to it, and I'm going to share one of my tabs, and I'll do that. Going to share this thing right here. So I'm going to go to it really quickly. So here we are. So coronavirus numbers. You can go to the Johns Hopkins University and Medicine website. It's coronavirus.jhu.edu. Global confirmed cases are as follows. We are at 125,399,418. The global death toll is at 2,754,289. The U.S. confirmed cases, we have hit 30 million as of today, I'm assuming. 30,076,486. And the U.S. death toll is 546,407. So global confirmed cases at 125 million.3, almost 125 million.4. Global death toll is at 2.7 million. U.S. confirmed cases at 30,076,486, and the U.S. death toll is at 546,507. And we have received over 86,000 new cases, almost 87,000 new cases. You can see it. If you can't see on the middle screen, just let me know. So that's what we saw today. So I would like to also bring your attention to something else to share on my Google tab, and I'm going to take you to the New York Times COVID map. You can subscribe just for COVID. It is free. If you want to subscribe anything else on the New York Times COVID map, you have to pay for that. So the California, the cases in the U.S., I'm going to name the top 10 only in the states because it's 50, and that's going to take a long time. California still have the highest numbers at 3,652,211. Texas has 2,771,543. Florida has now hit 2 million. They got 2,027,421. New York is at 1,823,602. Illinois is at 1,233,417. Georgia's at 1 million now. They hit 1,026,632. I'm going to talk about Georgia pretty soon. Not going to be as long. Ohio is now in the millions at 1,006,171. Pennsylvania has hit 1,005,404. North Carolina is at 908,868. They're about to hit the million mark. And New Jersey is at 881,880. So those are the top cases here in the United States. If you can't see the map is here. New York still kind of got like high numbers, more so probably in the city. Cases are picking up in Manhattan, and yeah, shit is real. So I'm stop sharing. Yep, it was a busy ass day. But we're on the path of COVID, which is good. It's over 200 million people have been vaccinated. Keep in mind, there's 328.2 million people that live in this country. So that's a good thing. For 200 million to be vaccinated, that's an accomplishment. You can tell that this administration has been in less than 100 days, and they have done way more than the previous administration has done within the last 4 years under the New York con artist from Queens. Excuse me. But the press conference, let me just say this, and I'm going to be real modest about it because, there's people will be looking here to suspend people and shit. If I was a reporter, if I ever had to do diligence on being a writer and being a reporter, I will talk about the accomplishments of what this administration has done in terms of COVID, because COVID is the number one issue that's affecting us here in the United States and globally around the world where we do business. I mean, we canceled all the events that brings this country money, including concerts in New Jersey, Broadway in New York. Well, New York City in general is the country's leading economy. So that shit, when we're fucked up, the whole country's fucked up. So that includes New Jersey with their concerts. That includes Connecticut with their casinos. Include Boston, because Massachusetts also is the fourth largest contributor to the federal pot. Then you have California that has all the award shows, all the events, including Coachella. You see, that shit didn't happen, right? Parades normally happen. They bring money. That happened. And for New York City in particular, the marathon brings a lot of money to the city and a lot of money to pretty much the state. So when those kind of events that includes people and interaction, when that shit doesn't happen, the country's fucked up. But no, the press corps, they focus on the border crisis. The border crisis, like that's a major crisis. Nobody ain't worried about the border, and this is no disrespect to immigrants coming to this country to escape, the violence that's happening in their country, because they escape with some shit. But they don't pose as a threat. They're not bringing coronavirus. Let me repeat that. Let's repeat that again. Immigrants that's coming to this country from South America or wherever they're coming from, because it's not just only South America that's coming to the border. They're coming here to escape the shit that they got going on. They are not a threat, okay? And they're not bringing coronavirus. Some of them probably came with their fucking mask on, because coronavirus is everywhere in this motherfucking country. Around the world, everywhere around the world, with the exception of New Zealand, because they actually follow their science, unlike this fucking country. Okay? So, they're not bringing coronavirus, Greg Abbott. That's you and your fucking negligence. So when Republicans say this shit, of course you and then the far leftists, follow up with this stupid ass rhetoric. Of course, the news media wants some drama. For 3.5 weeks, it was my governor, and we all know the shit what happened with my governor. But guess what happened? The New York legislation, they're handling him. So whatever happens, happens. But now, since they're derailed from my governor, now it's the shootings that took away. But instead, they're not focusing on the shootings. They even asked Joe Biden as much about the shootings. They didn't ask President Biden about that. They didn't ask President Biden about the COVID relief that was passed under him. That got people some money, including me. He also did not, they did not ask him about voter suppression is taking place. They did not ask him about the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. They didn't ask him more about the racial disparities that's going on. They didn't ask about the gender pay gap. I'm sorry, I'm scattering, but they didn't ask him about a whole bunch of stuff. They miss a lot. All you heard about was the motherfucking border. And why we're not in the facilities. Maybe because it was really that fucking bad. Y'all didn't mind going in and with Donald Trump after he called y'all motherfuckers stupid, because he called the whole press corps stupid and the enemy of the fucking people. He even banned some of them from going to the White House. So I'm not understanding why the fuck y'all have all this smoke for President Joseph Robinette Biden, and even for the Vice President Kamala Devi Harris. Why y'all have smoke for them? They're actually answering y'all motherfucking questions. And President Biden called on certain reporters because certain reporters had certain questions for them. This is not the White House press briefing. This is his press conference. He gets to control the narrative. And honestly, to tell you the truth, he was winning, because these reporters were reaching and they looked so stupid on camera, like the whole country was looking at them like, what the fuck? This particular problem was Donald Trump. Like, even before him, there was always an immigration problem in this country. Even before Bill Clinton. Everybody said, oh, well, Bill Clinton started. It was not just only him. It was going on during the Bush era and even Ronald Reagan. Oh, Ronald Reagan wanted comprehensive immigration. Yeah, he did the amnesty thing, but he's still full of shit too, because he made it harder for people to get their green card. So he doesn't get a pass. I mean, I'm going to need for the media to get their shit together, okay? Because during the Trump administration, y'all wrote books about this motherfucking man. Y'all took the abuse. Like Carly said, y'all need to follow Carly Rican, because y'all took all that fucking abuse and y'all wrote books on it. Y'all made money off of this crazy ass, clown ass, fraud ass administration. And now when you got an actual experience, the most experienced person in office besides President Obama, besides Bill Clinton, y'all got the most experienced person in office, and y'all got smoke for him. Did y'all forget that he was the vice president under the first African American president? Y'all think people are going to be deported, even though President Obama was considered to be the deporter in chief? But the difference is he just didn't deport the parents. He deported the whole family. Not saying it's a good thing, but he didn't treat them like shit. And he gave temporary, temporary TTP. I forgot the acronym. I mean, the whole thing of it, but I knew the acronym. Where they could still go to school and get their education. And get student visas and shit. Donald Trump treated undocumented immigrants and immigrants that came to this country like a piece of shit. Immigrants that lived here for a long time like shit. Because his ass is racist and always been racist. I'm a New Yorker. We've been told y'all about Donald Trump's fraudulent ass. And y'all still didn't fucking listen. And y'all still voted for him. And I'm pretty sure people in that press corps voted for him too, because some of them is not even Democrats. I wish, and that's another thing. Stop calling this media liberal media. They're not fucking liberal media. Okay? Half of these people are independents, moderate independents, not leftists. Because leftists won't even been in that fucking press corps room, even though I don't really like so much of them neither. These people are not liberals. So I'm going to need for people like Meghan McCain and Fox News to stop calling these fucking people liberals. Because one of them that asked him a question worked for the Daily Caller. And speaking of the person who used to work for Daily Caller, Caitlin Collins. I knew there was something off about her, but I still try to give her the benefit of the doubt. But lately, she's just been acting like a fucking Karen. So I am just going to play this video where the president gathered her all the way together.
That a yes that you are. You also just made some news by saying that you are going to run for re-election.
I said that is my expectation.
So is that a yes, that you are running for re-election?
Look, I don't know where you guys come from, man. I've never been able to travel. I'm a great respecter of fate. I've never been able to plan 3.5 years ahead for certain.
And if you do run, will Vice President Harris be on your ticket?
I would fully expect that to be the case. She's doing a great job. She's a great partner. She's a great partner.
And do you believe you'll be running against former President Trump?
Oh, come on. I don't even think about it. I have no idea. I have no idea whether it'll be a Republican Party. Do you? I know you don't have to answer my question, but I mean.
If you've been in there for 69 days, right? Almost 70. Why would you think about 3.5 years from now? And in Joe Biden's case, who just got there 69 days ago, why and dealing with a COVID pandemic, a failing economy, racial injustice, now voter suppression, climate change, infrastructure issues that have been going on for years now. Why the fuck would you think about 3.5 years from now? But of course, this is projecting at its fucking finest. And Caitlyn wasn't the only one. There was some black ones that was projecting, who I was very shocked at, and even some white males. That's why I tweeted there are some big Karen energy, big Kyle energy, and big Jacqueline. Jacqueline is because some of them was Caribbean. Jacqueline energy, and also including LaQuisha energy, Susan energy, and Rosalina energy. All of that in there. Projecting like a motherfucker. Which I don't even understand why the fuck y'all projecting. The man just fucking got in there. He just passed motherfucking COVID relief so people can have some money, so people can pay their motherfucking bills. And who's to say that it's going to be another round of COVID relief, because we ain't going to get out of this shit no time soon until probably like towards the end of this year. And that's the fucking earliest. You got to get people vaccinated. You got to still keep people wearing their masks and social distancing, because people got vaccinated. Some of them ain't wearing their motherfucking masks. They're walking around here like COVID is done. No, COVID is not done. Because if COVID was done, we would have had the Grammys would have been packed with so many motherfucking people. It would have not still been no virtual shit. People would still be doing podcasts from their motherfucking houses. But this is a society that we motherfucking living in. But yet the press corps, they wasn't winning. Not at all. It was Joseph Robinette Biden. So kudos to President Biden, and kudos to President Biden appointing Vice President Harris. I'm thinking that she could be the president one day. Vice President Harris to oversee the stuff at the border so they can all shut the fuck up, including Doug Ducey. He need to shut the whole entire fuck up. Okay? But let's get on to something else. So, I almost forget what I was getting ready to talk about. But, all right. So, white privilege. We all know white privilege has been a thing since the beginning of, since they have came here to colonize and took the land from the Native Americans. But a particular somebody of The View decided to throw her big Karen energy around and thought that shit was okay. So I am going to play this video because I have to. Because that Karen energy rubbed me the wrong mother effing way. So I'll just play the video that Meghan McCain said.
Not capacity. And I think the question Democrats have to reconcile with right now is whether or not race and gender are more important than qualification. So if you have someone who is more qualified, who happens to be a white, straight person, who is more on paper, has more experience in whatever field that they're being nominated for, than a minority with less experience, are we now in a place where this matters? And there's a lot of really interesting politics going on in the country right now of a job. And I think that's a question going forward that the progressive left is going to have to reconcile. Capacity. And I think the question Democrats have to reconcile with right now is whether or not race and gender are more important than qualification. So if you have someone who is more qualified, who happens to be a white, straight person, who is more on paper, has more experience in whatever field that they're being nominated for, than a minority with less experience, are we now in a place where this matters? And there's a lot of really interesting politics going on in the country right now of a job. And I think that's a question going forward that the progressive left is going to have to reconcile.
So that was Meghan Marguerite McCain, the daughter of the late John McCain, co-host of The View, conservative commentator, who said that bullshit. Now, everybody went in on her, including me. I told my mom I went in on her. Everybody made a video about her. I did too. And I involved her no-neck-ass husband, who is just as deplorable as her statement is. Said that bullshit. Now, here's the thing with Meghan McCain. I tweeted today about Miss McCain, and I'm going to read it to you. So I think it's fascinating. Peter Doocy, Meghan McCain, Abby Huntsman, and Jenna Bush are all examples of white privilege and nepotism. True story, nonfiction. I mean, after all, Meghan McCain, like I said, she's the daughter of John McCain, the late John McCain. Abby Huntsman is the daughter of John Huntsman Jr. Peter Doocy is the son of Steve Doocy. Jenna Bush is the daughter of former President George W. Bush, granddaughter of George H.W. Bush. Notice the commonality? All their fathers, all their parents are Republicans. High profile, the traditional conservative, one moderate Republican, and Republican establishment circles. So, of course, and I say this, they are examples of white privilege. Like, if I was to be experienced as a commentator, which I have no desire to be because I am a business person. I like to be behind the desk. That's my thing. If I was to go in there against Meghan McCain, she'll get the job faster than me, even as stupid and not knowledgeable as she is. Versus me, who knows politics, one who's a business major and who was a history major, a U.S. history history minor and U.S. history concentration. Yes, I have no experience working in politics, but damn it, I'll be a better fucking commentator than she is. Between her and Abby, I'm smarter than both of them bitches. If you really want to get technical, I'm smarter than Peter Doocy, because Peter Doocy looked like a dum-dum. The way he got dragged on national television by Press Secretary Jen Psaki. Like, all of these people, you're there because you look good and you got perfect teeth and perfect hair and you got the look. But y'all don't have this. Because there's a lot of qualified Black people, a lot of qualified Latinas who are probably conservative. And saying that she is the only conservative on mainstream TV is complete utter bullshit. For a person who watches news shows forever and ever, you have commentators like Amanda Carpenter, Sarah Elizabeth, also known as S.E. Cup, Tara Setmeyer, Sophia A. Nelson, and Anna Navarro. Nicole Wallace is another one. Those are conservatives and one moderate. You're not the only conservative on mainstream TV. You may be a co-host on that Republican on that show, but on ABC you're not the only traditional conservative, because you have Chris Christie, who is a political commentator on that same fucking network. Yeah. And there's also another Republican there too, because she used to work for George Bush. I forgot her name, but she's on there too. Meghan McCain is not the only conservative on mainstream TV. As a woman, no. It's a lot of women that's on different networks. Most of them are at CNN, where they getting their bag and actually saying substantial shit, whether I agree with them or not. Because most of the time, I don't even agree with them. I don't agree with Amanda Carpenter a lot. I don't agree with what's her name, Tara Setmeyer a lot. I don't agree with them. I don't agree with SE neither. Like, but the difference between them, they actually worked in politics. Meghan McCain don't have that as much experience as them. Not even as Anna Navarro, and not even as Tara Setmeyer. Tara Setmeyer actually worked for somebody in Congress. Meghan McCain only worked for her daddy. And she had a talk show because she was John McCain's daughter. Tara Setmeyer had to work on her own, as well as Sophia A. Nelson, who also worked on Capitol Hill. I'm pretty sure Amanda Carpenter did, and I'm pretty sure SE too. Not sure about SE, but I know Tara Setmeyer and Amanda, what is it? Tara Setmeyer, Anna Navarro, and Sophia A. Nelson had to work for everything they have. Whether I agree with their politics or not, they work for everything they fucking have. So I don't want to hear that bullshit from Meghan McCain talking about if a white straight person. No. Because a lot of people that probably interviewed for The View, for your spot, that was conservative, that was probably black or Latina or Asian, was more fucking qualified than you. That is the problem that I have. And it's not just people on the right with white privilege, it's people on the left too. Because they keep referring to black people as being poor. Just because you're a little more liberal minded than others doesn't mean you have the right to speak on black issues. It doesn't give you the motherfucking right to call black people poor and disenfranchised when you have nothing to back that shit up. When you're talking to a black woman, you don't use the words poor and disenfranchised in the wrong sentence. Because when I criticize a particular politician because they down identity politics, and y'all know who that person is, his followers comes in there talking about he fighting for poor, disenfranchised black people. Skirt, skirt. No. Because if he was, he would have been on the ground with people every motherfucking day. He would have been talking to activists, black activists every day. He would have been at one of the protesters every fucking day. Oh, he's old. Joe Biden was old. Joe Biden is old. And guess what? Joe Biden was out there with protesters. Of course, Kamala Harris was one of the first people. Even Elizabeth Warren, and she get on my nerves, and she was there. And even Mitt Romney's two-faced ass was there. I mean, I don't understand. I really don't. So that's why this whole white privilege conversation is like it's so much to it, because I can really like go on and on for days, but I realize I'm 30 minutes in and I don't want to be that long. But people like Meghan McCain, Abby Huntsman, Peter Doocy, and Jenna Bush are prime examples of white privilege. So I would like for Meghan McCain to cut that fucking rhetoric out, shut the fuck up with that bullshit, and just do whatever. You know, be a parent. Work on your family life. Stop commentating on shit that you don't motherfucking know and don't have substantial facts to back that fucking shit up. No statistic numbers, no nothing. So that's my friendly advice to her. But I am wrapping this up. It's after 12 o'clock. I know some of you guys got to go to work. I have work to do myself. So until then, be blessed. Have a good night. Thank you for watching. As I said, you can follow me on my Instagram, on my Twitter at I am Shantizi, which I shall put in the chat. Or you can like, share, and subscribe. Well, you can like and share this video, or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Because after next Wednesday, Periscope will discontinue, and I will have this on my YouTube. I may have this on my Facebook. I'm not quite as sure, because there's people at church follow me, so I don't want them in my business. So this will be YouTube and Twitch. I just joined Twitch, so I heard it's a gaming thing, but you can watch it on there too. But until then, you guys have a wonderful and blessed night. See you on my Instagram live tomorrow at 10:30, where I break down the politics of the week.